Alright, son. We brought you here on an account of your experiences with this man as a child. Tell us what you know and things will go well for you.
Okay. So, Sonic the Hedgehog was a series I always wanted to get into as a kid, but only ever really observed at a distance.
You want to end this creep?
I considered myself to be a huge Sonic fan when I was younger, but nowadays, it's a franchise I only ever really engage in to connect with friends. And you know, maybe it's a good thing I never really got into Sonic, considering the community at large is, I don't have to finish that sentence. Seriously, even the creator, Yuji Naka, is in jail now. But the question still remains, what happened? How did Sonic hook and subsequently lose me? Well, let me just set the scene for you a little. I was raised on Nintendo. Shocker, I know. I played Mario, whatever else my family got for the Wii, and very little else. At some point while I was very young, my family got this little game, you might have heard of it, called Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Just looking at the cover, my 4-year-old brain perceived this as a new Mario game for me to use however I see fit. But wait, that's Kirby! From my DS! I can't just step on it, we gotta throw hands! Come to think of it, there's that gross guy from Mario Kart. And that fuck-ass robot, too! The gears were turning. This is a game where the guys from all the other games come to fight. I can finally fulfill my 4-year-old lifelong fantasy of Luigi killing Diddy. But wait just a smudge. There's these guys on the back. I don't know who the hell either of these guys are or why they got an exclusive feature on the back of the box, but I'm particularly interested in this blue guy on account of him not being the dead-ass man. Both of these guys got special little videos of them separate from all the other cutscenes in the game. I guess we could check out what the Sonic guy is all about. Okay, so here's Mario. Typical 4-year-old me affair. Whoa, this guy is fast. Oh, damn! Oh, damn! Holy shit! What am I listening to? He's assaulting Donkey Kong. Well, what the buns? Oh my god, he's going Super Saiyan! In retrospect, I think the exposure to punk rock left more of an everlasting impression than Sonic ever did. Even still, I associated that feeling with Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, how can you expect a kid to not think this guy's badass, seeing him beat the shit out of your hero with the most banging music I ever heard at the time? At a glance, he's another cute platformer fella, but he's got so much edge to him. What the fuck even is a hedgehog? I'd only been surrounded in basic-ass, sterile, new Super Mario Bros. Stuff all my life. Now, I've got to know where this guy is from. Thus, after a good smashing of Sonic, I got on my dad's laptop and tried looking him up online to see if I could learn more about him. And what I found was pretty cool, actually. What, like little plush videos, parodies, full of characters I'd never seen before? It all seems so fresh and interesting. Who are all these motherfuckers? Little bird fella? The enchilada? There's a bat with tits and an even sexier cat. So at this point, I became a huge Sonic fan. Sonic the Hedgehog touched me. Like, I remember at a fair, I got a couple of squirrel plushies, one blue and one yellow. And I pretended that they were Sonic and that other guy. At a daycare, there was this little figure of an actual just man. I played with him in this tiny ass Shadow the Hedgehog keychain. And imagine the man was Sonic's human Sona or something. I still did not own one game. I desperately wanted to watch Sonic X, but it was long over at this point. We couldn't find any DVDs. I was obsessed with this freak, and I didn't even know what he was about other than going fast and eating ass. That is, until one day something snapped. I asked my dad for a whole Sonic game, and he returned with, oh, what the hell?
That's just sad.
With the monkey or
everything?
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I was already confused by the sheer amount of Sonic shit I've yet to discover. This game just made it all the more overwhelming. Like, are you seeing this? Guy's getting out of his friend's car and punching it. Monkey deep throating the girl's banana. Pretty sure this is cultural appropriation. Yes, my father bought me Sonic the Hedgehog Mario Kart. Except this game has 100% more Zobio and Zobiko, Jackie and Akira, and whoever the fuck this guy is. I suppose this was sort of a good way to ease me into Sonic. Like many others, I rocked Mario Kart Wii throughout my early childhood. Sonic's whole thing is running. Why is he using the same method of transportation I get Bojangles with? Beyond that, what does this game have over something like Mario Kart? Well, it does look a lot grittier, and by that I mean it has like half the frame rate. The items are all functionally similar to what you'd see in Mario Kart, but all generic so as to not theme them around any one series, save for the shield bubbles and Sonic sneakers. We got throwable boxing gloves that function as green shells. I can fist a Robo in this game. There's missiles so I can blow up Amy Rose. Oh, and happy Pride Month, everyone.
It's December.
Of course, we can't forget the titular feature of this game, the All-Star moves. These mostly just amount to being bullet bill replacements, but each character has a unique variant, ranging from ballistic assault to a white guy. Big the Cat's got froggies, and the Me's unionized. While you're racing, you got this narrator saying shit to you the whole time, and
Billy!
His name is William.
I remember this feeling. Excitement!
This is what did it for you?
Where did you guys learn to drive? A farm?
I'm 5 years old, man, stop! You can view profiles for each character, which it says here Sonic drives in this game only to level the playing field. That's the excuse to justify this whole series' existence. It is fun to get some insight into these characters. For instance, Shadow the Hedgehog canonically likes nothing. There's also a mission mode in this game like the one in Mario Kart DS. Catch Sonic. I think I already did. Hedgehog target practice. It's a lot less gruesome than it sounds. The better you do with these missions, the more your game screams at you. Loading screen's got Sonic Says, where he mansplains how to play the game. I will always listen to what this screen has to say. By playing the game, you earn Sega miles, which can be used to unlock new options. There's more crossover characters like Ooh La La, BD Joe. Can I shoot all three of us? No! As far as tracks go, they actually did a bit of the Mario Kart 8 anti-gravity thing like 4 years before that game came out. And it works like it doesn't work. This part of the Same de Amigo track takes after Mario Kart World and being a straight line, but at least with the added benefit of nightmares. The final cup in this game is the Monkey Cup. What agenda is this game trying to push? The Monkey Ball stages blow chunks. Oh my god, you are not meant to race on these. I won. Did they fire the graphic designer? Why do the credits look like this? It took 3 Chris's to make this. There's a battle mode that can be done fun with friends, but I think just about anything can be.
You ever tried stapling mice?
Rest assured, if you don't want to play the game, you can turn everything off. Yeah, this game didn't leave much of an impression on me. Like, it was an acid trip seeing all this weird shit, but like, Mario Kart was literally always right there. This is a passable substitute? I'm sorry, Ryo Hazuki. I cannot ignore how much more ugly and janky this game is. And believe you me, I had high standards on the Wii.
So this is the closest he ever came to you?
Not in the slightest. Sonic was still constantly on my mind. I still loved him and wanted to see him all the time. My lust for Sonic was far from satiated.
Good God!
One day, as the stupid little child I was, I asked my dad for a new Sonic, one that I could pick out myself. So he took me to GameStop and all they had for the Wii was Sonic Colors and Sonic and the Secret Rings. And something about the Secret Rings just looked really unappealing at the time. In retrospect, I think I made the right choice. So lo and behold, my very first true Sonic game, Sonic Colors. A game generally considered to be one of the best in the whole series and also simultaneously one of the worst. So pretty much like every other Sonic game. Look at him running on Aurora Borealis. First things, we gotta undress the Hedgehog in the room. He is literally ripping off Mario here. Like, more than usual. You're telling me it's a coincidence that the Wii exclusive Sonic game also has him running around in space getting help from aliens? It's also a bit Mario Kart in the sense that there are no goddamn characters in this story. I'll just assume Big died at the end of the last game. Even still, to my child mind, the little this game had in terms of a plot was insane. Sonic, Eggman, that one, they can actually speak full sentences?
Yeah, it's sick, son of a bitch. Going after kids with poor motor skills.
As an adult, I can recognize how corny the dialogue is, but I thought it was cool how many jokes they were cracking. Sonic's such a badass, he slaps his ass and calls the bad guy bald. Such a far cry from just... I will say though, I think they laid the absurdity on a little too thick in later games. The plot of the game is that Dr. Eggman built a gigantic space resort featuring 5 different planets as a way to apologize for his crimes against humanity. It's all a front to illegally hunt wisps, but we don't see a single customer in any area of the game. Where did he get the funding for this? Getting into the game itself, meow. This game's like actually good. Blowing through the space resort at blazing speeds, grinding on rails with the rockin' music. This is what I wanted. Look at the variety of worlds. This cool aquarium place with the music everyone loves. Asteroid coaster with the bangin' punk rock. Don't see this in new soup. Planet Wisp can kick rocks though. There's Gameland where you can play a bunch of special stages, either as a robot Sonic or as a Mii. As a kid, I thought it was so cool that I could be Sonic. These days I just play as a horse. You can also play these levels with a friend, and it's fun enough. Even if this game isn't exactly designed with 2 people in mind. I never actually beat Gameland, and apparently you can get the Chaos Emeralds and unlock Super Sonic. Though unlocking the stages requires you to have all the red rings, and I'm not letting Planet Wisp within 10 inches of my pole again.
What?
This all culminates in terminal velocity. I could not beat this as a kid. And as an adult, I still had trouble. But nonetheless, I can finally put my trauma to rest and beat this game. Man, these credits are so damn long. I wonder how many of these people are in jail now. Shout out to the second bassoon. The gimmick of this game in particular are wisps, the aforementioned aliens who give you power-ups. These suck. Okay, usually they're serviceable, but honest to God, you could take these away entirely. The game would be better for it. I still don't really get how laser works. Spikes are just disorienting. Cube could bring some neat challenges, but having to stop dead in your tracks doesn't make for a very appealing ability in a Sonic game. Hover and Rocket do essentially the same thing at different speeds, and neither are fun to control. And Frenzy makes me feel like a beached whale. The drill one is actually pretty rad and fun though, especially underwater. There is also a bonus for being of color. All that aside though, I think the core Sonic gameplay here is really fun. I know there's some people who make a big stink about the 2D sections and the short levels. Is it weird that I kind of appreciate the short levels? I appreciate how short and sweet this game is in general. And if you want more out of the game, you can replay old levels with new wisps and find secrets and unlock new special stages. So yeah, on a whole, I think this is a good game. Point 1 for Sonic. For many years, I didn't even touch this game and just watched in total apathy as they made a real shitty port for modern consoles. But now, having sunk my teeth back into it, I think it could become a tradition of mine to replay this game every now and then. Also, there's a DS version, which I did have as a kid, but all I remember of it is this awkward animation on the title. It was 2D and I couldn't beat the first boss, before I quickly lost it.
Jesus, son, I didn't know it was this bad. You should have come to us much sooner. Ugh, well, what else did he do to you?
Well, after playing a real Sonic game and letting him really get his grip on me, he took me on over to London for the Olympics.
My God, he's gone international!
Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games!
You know, I was telling a friend about this game and they were genuinely stunlocked by this thing's existence. How the hell did this happen? Well, apparently Sega got an exclusive license to make Olympic video games around the time of the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics. The goal was to market the game to children, and after getting the idea to use Sonic, they also just asked Nintendo if they could use Mario in it, which they said. So here we are, the first dedicated crossover between these two series. And after making Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, they decided this should be a biennial game series of its own. If you needed any more proof that the world we live in is a joke.
That was my breaking point, too.
So yeah, here, my third Sonic game. I probably don't even need to tell you my parents' thought process on getting me this one. This was my favorite of the bunch as a kid. I sunk so much time into this shit, primarily on the count I fucking devoured Wii minigame compilations. Wii Party, Wii Play, those were all my shit. And wouldn't you know it, I could be a freak in this game too. The Rouge suit? You fucking bet. Man, I thought this intro was so tough when I was younger. Hold up, son, what are you doing, man? During an Olympic competition? Blaze clearly did not consent to this. You're doing it in front of a live international audience? Oh, and I can receive mail through this game? The fun just doesn't stop. I hope I can ignore the IRS here too. I haven't gotten a letter in literally 10 years. Me and Espio been talking, so what? Let's hit up the game's feature mode, London Party. I actually got 3 other people to sit down and play this shit with me. Come to think of it, we're probably like one of the single-digit amount of groups to actually gather around and play this game this decade. They all probably ghosted me afterwards, but let's get into what this mode actually entails. Each player receives a sticker book, and the goal is to be the first to fill out every space. You can get stickers by winning minigames and talking to people in London. That's right, in this mode, you're free to just roam around London. Don't get stabbed! And there's such a wide variety of things to do, like talk to hookers, find the Chaos Emeralds, and get involved with the London Mafia. Talking to someone typically leads to minigames, and you get bonus stickers for initiating it. God, is it such a drag to book it on over to someone to realize they're just pausing the game to tell you some London trivia. And great, now someone else is getting the bonus stickers while you're giving a quill job in the Greenwich Stadium. There are special minigames specific to this mode. We gotta find a shy guy on the loose. This was our first impression to the game. Metal Sonic's telling us to race through the streets of London. What the fuck is the infrastructure here? Is it this bad in real life?
Yeah, it was. I was there.
Are you good, man? Better question, what the hell is this ping pong game? This game came out in 2011, 2 years after Wii Sports Resort came out with the best fucking ping pong game known to man. Why is this shit so unresponsive? Who is that? Oh, Toad wants us to do his dream spacewalk. Let's spend 2.5 minutes trying to cooperate in this janky-ass minigame to defeat Dino Piranha we got last. No stickers for any of us. That was an extraordinary waste of time. Let's blow off steam in the shooting range. Waluigi with a gun. A glimpse into an alternate reality. We got a 100-meter sprint. It's just a jerk-off, but at least you can pace yourself to the sight of Bowser beating Sonic in a race. Going for a swim, you can make like my uncle and have a stroke. God bless his soul. What the hell is this QTE at the end of uneven bars? What the hell is this QTE in Hammer Throw? I'm starting to notice a trend. It feels like they want to give these games more sauce than other sports compilations for the Wii, so they add these little extra prompts at random points, overcomplicating the minigames. And then the core sport still feels awkward to play at the same time. They're putting in more work in the wrong places for an overall worse experience. Again, ping pong is an example. The actual ping pong gameplay just feels like Shake the Wiimote with the correct timing. But you best believe every character has their own unique special move. You get the special moves by keeping up a rally, literally just playing. And all they do is make the ball move in an unpredictable way. Why? What does this add to the experience? To what end?
Don't ask the man what he does with his balls!
Maybe I just need to read over the rules better. Sonic, you've been very insistent about this. At this point, we just all wanted it to be over. We don't even care who won. Some of the Hedgehog's about to win. Oh, son of a bitch! Okay, well now at least we can fucking... It's over now. You came in 4th. Try for top 3 next time. I heard that some people say that a highlight of this game were the dream events, and the Rio 2016 games were so much worse without them. Did we play the same game? Like, yeah, sure, these take place in locales from Mario and Sonic. Some of these are better than their standard version. Dream Hurdles takes place in Battle Rock Galaxy. That doesn't make it fun. While I was playing this game with my friends, an ice cream truck came by and we walked out to grab some, and I got the Sonic the Hedgehog popsicle. Surprised they still make these damn things. It is grossly sweet. My mouth was blue as hell after eating it. At least now I finally know what Sonic tastes like. Once again, there's also a handheld counterpart to the game that I did indeed own as a child, but left a relatively small impression. Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games for Nintendo 3DS. I've heard worse pickup lines. In this version of the game, characters are locked to specific categories and sports made for those categories. There's no opportunity for any actual wild crossovers here. If you want to play as Wario, you're going to be going up against like Metal Sonic. You're playing as Mario, you're going to go up against Sonic, Luigi, and... Okay, that does it. We've been seeing this little yellow freak all day. Who is this guy? Huh, okay. As I was saying, you'd be up against Sonic, Luigi, and Knuckles as Mario. Also, I just want to point out that there's a specific category for women, which just highlights to me how every other one is comprised only of men. Is that some misogyny I smell? International Olympic Committee? Because only men can pole vault!
Okay, son. Just leave the politics out of the discussion.
How is this political? I'm just saying, there should be more diversity.
Exactly.
There's a lot of sports exclusive to this version, like judo and walk racing, and say what you will about this game, it's bad. But it's a goddamn goldmine of hilariously stupid visuals. This game's also actually got a proper story mode. Mario, Sonic, and Luigi are non-verbal throughout the whole thing. Mario and Luigi, sure, they're meant a few coherent words. Sonic's whole thing is that he's a fucking blabbermouth. Why is he like this now? Wow, it's sure foggy here too. Whoa, something just sped right by me.
All right.
It did look like Froggy, but why was it flying? First of all, he just understood that little gesture from Sonic. Also, you're an echidna with dreadlocks. Surely a flying frog isn't so outlandish. Oh, hey, hot stuff. What else can I say about this game? It's Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. It isn't a crossover made out of love or ambition. It's one to market an Olympic video game to children. The only particular value I see in this game really is to have been a kid when it came out and go, oh my god, my comfy characters are interacting. Like, you know, there are kids games of this caliber released years prior, bundled in with the same console with actual thoughtful design to make them fun for all ages. I wasn't expecting to be so cynical about this game, but there really just isn't much to all this. Even playing it with friends, ironically, we could make fun of just the absurdity of this game's existence. But at a certain point, the novelty wore off, and we'd all just rather be playing any other video game. Okay, I still stand by my point. Well, there is a kick to get out of Silver the Hedgehog riding a horse with City Escape in the background.
Your dad must have been so cold encouraging your relationship with this bastard. Must have been hard on your mother.
My mom was actually very supportive as well. As a matter of fact, she was the one who helped me get with him next.
We're CPS! We're failing our children!
I'm done playing Olympics. It's time for my next mainline Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 on my mom's Kindle Fire. You know, Sonic 4, the supposed grand return of classic Sonic. Supposed to be a 3-part game, but turned out so bad they only finished 2. The one they notoriously ignored in Sonic Mania's trailer. Yeah, this is the game I definitely have the least to talk about. I don't even remember getting past the first world. Whether that's because I sucked as a kid or only had the light version, both are equally as likely. Playing this on Steam now as an adult, this is as basic ass Sonic as basic Sonic gets. This is the new Super Mario Bros. Of Sonic. I was trying to get into Sonic specifically because he was an aberration from this kind of thing. In terms of this game's own identity, you could do these tag actions, and now they're 69ing. Going into the special stages, oh god, I have Knuckles on a chain. What kind of freaky shit are these two into? I refunded it.
Alright, so what else did you do to you?
Well, nothing. The Wii U rolled around, and I kind of fell off Sonic. Sonic Generations was out and is generally considered to be the peak of the series, but wasn't on any console I owned. I guess there is the 3DS version. I'm worth better than this. Sonic and Sega Racing got a sequel, the 2014 Olympic Games came out. It wasn't until Sonic Lost World that another mainline Sonic game came out on a Nintendo console. But all of those just kind of fell to the wayside of the rest of the Wii U games coming out. Instead of any of these games, I got Pikmin 3 for Christmas that year. And what do you know, now that's one of my favorite games ever. I wasn't exactly kicking myself for missing out on Sonic, especially since Lost World just continued to resemble Mario even more. And then it was followed by Sonic Boom and Sonic Forces, and I was getting older and kind of realizing how much of a laughing stock he was at this point. Sonic wasn't a badass to me anymore. He was a fucking creep. I can't do this anymore, officer. Can we please be done?
Yeah, we've got enough. I think the information you gave us here will be very useful. You know, kid, you got some real guts. It takes a lot to reflect on painful memories and reckon with the mistakes you've made. Seeing how you've taken it all in stride and lived on in spite of it all, you're a good man.
Huh. Thanks. I was actually really nervous in coming here, well, with how you're a dog, and I'm a cat. I thought you'd just hate me for the way I am, but you actually seem pretty cool.
No, son, I would never discriminate against you or anyone else. We just want to protect everyone, and the first step in doing so is getting this bastard off the streets.
Who wants to play Pikmin 2 multiplayer?
Oh god, he's black!
So that's it. All Sonic ever was to me was a wet blue stain on my childhood. I'm never gonna be able to get into this freak like how I wanted to. Well, I wouldn't say all hope is lost. Recently, I finally got around to playing Sonic Generations in the form of Sonic X Shadow Generations. Again, totally not ripping off. I thought it was an alright game, still think Colors is better. Weirdly, despite being known as one of the pinnacles of the series, it honestly feels more like the status quo. Don't get me wrong, most of the game is fun. For a game so critically acclaimed, there was a lot of sections in the main campaign that felt confusing and poorly designed. Like, I did not care for any of the bosses, especially towards the end. Planet Wisp Returns is still not fun to play. The Sonic 06 level sucked, go figure. And there's a lot of instances in my playthrough where I think the game just didn't work as intended. Overall though, I still thought it was a fun time. Shadow Generations on the other hand, this is like actually a quality video game. I think it got most of the core Sonic gameplay down tight here, minus the trauma. Between levels, there's also this kind of open world place called White Space, not that one. And I thought zooming around, finding little secrets, and slowly gaining more mobility options is actually fun. The challenges in this game are also a hell of a lot more engrossing than the ones in Sonic Generations. Heard the gameplay in White Space was based off of Sonic Frontiers, so I eagerly bought that next time it was on Steam sale. Yeah, I don't fuck with this. I didn't play much, obviously, but it really just didn't grab me. The world was so bland and confusing by comparison, which is funny because Shadow took place in a literal white void. The cyberspace levels felt janky as hell compared to Colors and Generations. And I fucking hated the combat, sorry. I've seen Sonic fans praise the story heavily for finally giving these characters development, showing growth in these characters, having them actually talk about their history together and their relationships. I think the effort is very admirable, and it does sound really engaging, if you actually know these characters. Personally, how am I supposed to care about Amy Rose? She had no presence in the mainline Sonic games I played as a kid. In every other game I played that she was actually in, her whole character was girl Hedgehog like Sonic. I don't know these guys aside from very baseline traits. So yeah, please forgive my apathy towards this game. I really did want to like it. I tried playing the classic Sonic games through Sonic Origins. Marble Zone was horrible in Sonic 1. I wanted to keep going despite that and give it a fair shot. Then it did this and I never touched it again. Played through most of Sonic 2 until the final boss, which I think is an understandable point to quit at. It was whatever. For a 2D platform in the early 90s, it was whatever. And Sonic 3. I just fell off at this point. I don't know what happened. I'm far from a freak for old video games. It is honestly a miracle Sonic 2 is as tolerable as it was. I suppose I could give Sonic CD a try sometime. Like, I suppose I could get measles now. Pizza Tower is one of my favorite games of all time. It's considered to be the love child of Sonic and Wario. That is a graphic image. This game honestly deserves a whole video of its own. But to briefly gloss over my thoughts, it feels like this game does what Sonic has been trying to do for 35 years and actually does it right. Like, dead ass. So it is possible to have a fun, well-designed platformer with unique levels, fun gimmicks, rad visuals and music, and blisteringly fast gameplay, and not have it be this. This doesn't really fit into the discussion right now. It's not a Sonic game. But mother of mercy, if I find a chance to glaze this game, I'm gonna take it. It deserves it. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is a successor to the Sonic and Sega games. How many of these games exist? Sega seems pretty hell-bent on making this a live service thing, so I've got a bit to say about this game. First of all, we've got everyone's favorite characters here on this roster. Knuckles, the Diddler, and SpongeBob. The gimmick of this game is that you can drive to different tracks in the middle of racing on one track, but like actually done well instead of the shit Mario Kart World is on. Yeah, instead of driving all the way there and spending most of the race doing that, you just go straight through a portal and... So Sega got a new graphic designer. They also laid off their whole audio department. There's character-specific dialogue you can get during races. If only I could hear anything now. Wouldn't be missing much anyway, because all the DLC characters are mute, which is just lame, frankly. And would you look at that? This game's following in its predecessor's footsteps. This is a great Mario Kart replacement, is what I would say if you didn't have to explain all of this to everyone you play it with. Like, come on, Mario Kart's whole thing is its accessibility. Every time I try to get people to play this game, they're intrigued by being able to play as Minecraft Steve and Hatsune Miku, but their eyes start to glaze over once we gotta go select gadgets. And then they're just like, can we play Mario Kart instead? And I have to be the one to go out to bat for it. Like, how can you think Mario Kart is better than this game when you can put 5 guys on your car? And personally, I feel like the sauce of games like this should come from mastering the controls and memorizing the layout of every track instead of just following the meta. Keyword should. At least I can make my magnum opus here. This game also does got an opportunity. Well, with Mario Kart being $80, surely they could get a much more reasonable price with no pesky open world. There's also a $30 season pass. You know, I wanted to send this off with a well wish towards Sonic and an appreciation for what it provided me with as a kid. Make some profound statement on how even through the rough times, he just kept running with a smile. Well, he wasn't just running all that time. He was running from his problems. He just kept falling into the same pitfalls again and again. He never took a look at the underlying problems or reflected on what he could be doing wrong. And as a result, he and the people who cared about him suffered for it. When will he learn that his actions have consequences? People say he's been on an upswing lately, and like, Has he? I guess the important lesson to learn here is it's never too late to start trying. Sonic can take steps towards the right direction. I can try to be more open to him, but you have to be the one to improve yourself. You can live a miserable life of mediocrity, being the butt of the joke to everyone who knows you with no one to blame but yourself. Or you can do the hard thing and gather the humility to admit what you're doing wrong and put in the work to make a real change for the better. He is capable of it. He has proven it before, but he just has to try. Sonic the Hedgehog, he has to choose to live and learn. What we also learned here today is that all cops are bastards.